State-mandated lockdowns have been the defining tragedy of this generation. States around the nation have closed their borders, shops, and even passed total lockdown orders, restricting most civilians from even leaving their homes. But is it worth it? Is COVID-19 so perilous that we as Americans should bow to the overt power grab that has been witnessed these last few months? Should we the people even be able to decide for ourselves? This pandemic has brought to light not only the secret agendas of the American elite, but also shown how we as Americans take our rights and freedoms for granted. Barely over a year ago, a national program was launched in an effort to reduce the burden on hospitals during this burgeoning pandemic. While its intentions may have been pure, the infamous 15 days to slow the spread has just set on its 389th day. Yet while evidence proving lockdowns are no longer effective keeps pouring in, politicians around the nation refuse to reopen. This so-called party of science has shown it is more than willing to ignore all semblance of facts and evidence in the name of progressing their agenda. But what is even more shocking is the willingness of so many Americans to simply lay down their rights and beg the government for safety. This reality has not been helped by the unceasing barrage of media shock and awe that Americans have been subjected to this last year. In fact, while we have been force-fed daily reports of the COVID scare, the darker side of lockdowns has been hidden from us. For example, a study at Columbia University found that lockdowns have pushed over 8 million Americans into poverty and permanently closed over 98,000 small businesses. But that's not it. Drug overdoses have spiked in 40 of the 50 states last year. Suicide rates have climbed 70% in some districts. And in April 2020, 1 month after the lockdowns began, calls to disaster distress hotlines jumped to a staggering 890%. Furthermore, experts are beginning to plead with our leaders to end lockdowns. As Dr. David Nabarro of the World Health Organization recently stated, we really do appeal to all world leaders. Stop using lockdowns as your primary method of control. Lockdowns have just one consequence, that you must never, ever belittle. And that is making poor people an awful lot poorer. In short, our leaders stand in the face of logic, statistics, and experts, and still claim to call themselves the party of science. So, where do we go from here? How do we change the current reality around and begin working towards normal? First, we must truly educate ourselves. Throughout the last year, the mainstream media has proven that it cannot be trusted to present honest facts to the American people. Luckily, this has not only resulted in a widespread mistrust of the mainstream media, but also a shift towards more conservative outlets. A report from Town Hall claimed that in the last 6 weeks, CNN has lost over 45% viewership, and MSNBC is close behind at losing 26%.
Lock them up.
Conversely, conservative media outlets like Louder with Crowder, The Daily Wire, Breitbart, Epoch Times, and Newsmax are experiencing growth at an unprecedented scale. Second, we must all reject fear and live our lives to the fullest. Politicians, the mainstream media, and big corporations love nothing more than a subservient following that are locked indoors. Yet as we are seeing on a daily occurrence, this is not only killing our nation, but our culture as well. So, go play outside. Go interact with your friends and family. And folks, we live in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, so go out and enjoy every minute of it. Third, we must also reject cancel culture. The only thing users of cancel culture have to look forward to is eventually being canceled themselves. It is a disease that kills thought, debate, and progress, and should have no place in a society that claims to call itself civilized. Fourth, we must celebrate our culture and our holidays like true Americans. In a recent conference, Joe Biden promised the American people that if we all do our part, there is a good chance that friends, families, and neighbors will be able to gather in small groups to celebrate Independence Day this July 4th. Now, friends, as a fellow patriot that deeply values the freedoms given to me, I would propose that the president is in no state of mind to lead this country if he truly believes that this July 4th and Memorial Day weekend will be anything short of the largest display of American patriotism and fervor ever seen in this generation. Together, we can make sure that our leaders in DC and Olympia experience the total sensory overload of hot dogs, fireworks, and freedom in a way that will be remembered for years to come. Finally, we must all mentor someone around us. I don't think I need to remind any of you that we as conservatives are losing the culture war. This is in no small part due to previous generations neglecting to teach younger people what it means to be a true conservative. In the past, we have simply let the school system, the media, and other youth programs do the heavy lifting for us. But look where that has gotten us. If you need any proof of this, look around you. How many young conservatives do you know? How many teens and young adults can you find who are actually excited about conservative politics? We are a slowly dying breed that will become extinct if we don't do something about it. I leave you with this. Ronald Reagan, the 40th president of these great United States, once proclaimed, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodline. It must be fought for, protected, and handed to them to do the same, or else we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was like to live in America when men were free." Ladies and gentlemen, there is hope, but Danae, Zoe, and I cannot do it by ourselves. Help us make sure that our generation isn't the last to know what true freedom really feels like. I thank you all for your time.